All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for just a few real people out here, just like you there, right there. Yeah, you, Bueller, and just like me here. Um, anyway, folks, Chubby Checker has some interesting things to say about his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducement. And I'm gonna comment on one of the things he said, which I think raises an interesting question. All right. So before I get to Chubby Checker, um, I had these guys on this channel the other day. Nobody really watched the interview. The band is called Outlasted, and this is their album Universal Human Desire, UHD for short. I would go listen to this. Um, it's good. All right. It's, I mean, I get a lot of, I don't know, shade because I call this melodic rock. Okay. It's music. It's good music. It is melodic. There are melodies, thus melodic rock. Um, you want to call it album oriented rock or adult oriented rock or even maybe adult contemporary, if you want to call it yacht rock, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's good stuff. Now, again, I don't know, the band isn't paying me or anything. I just like the CD. They sent it to me and um go listen to it. If you don't like it, yeah, you get your money back if you don't like it these days cuz you can just stream it. You don't even have to buy it. All right, so Chubby Checker says he wants more. He appreciates being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but he told Variety some interesting things here. He's been eligible for the Hall of Fame since 1986. Now, I made a comment about I kind of don't understand Chubby Checker getting in, not because I don't think he's deserving, because it kind of came out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, they're going down a checklist at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Is Chubby Checker in? No. Why isn't Chubby Checker in? This is embarrassing. Is he still alive? Yeah, he's still alive. Okay. Well, um, there's a generation of people who listened to Chubby Checker back in the 50s and 60s. A lot of those people aren't here anymore. So they're going to miss this. And I think because it's so far after the fact that it loses some of its impact, and the people who are here now don't appreciate it. It's like you took this relic out of a museum and you're putting him up on stage, and he's going to, I think he'll probably perform. I would think he's still active. A lot of people don't know that Chubby Checker is still active. He's still out there. Um, but he had some interesting things to say, and I think this is an important lesson when it comes to where we are with the current state of music, especially on radio stations. Now, first of all, he said, I was thinking if I was chosen for the Hall of Fame, or that if I wasn't chosen, I'm still chubby. What we did then, what we do now is still here. It's just a great thing that it's happening. And if they finally put my statue up, well, I might not be alive to see that happen, but people will enjoy it. Now, he's referring to putting a statue of himself in the courtyard, inviting people to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This was before he got inducted, obviously. This was years ago. He says, everyone got so angry, and everybody's made a whole lot of money off of Chubby. Give the man some credit. So I give Chubby Checker some credit for saying, hey, I'm an ambassador of this particular genre, which should be just flat out rock and roll. I think he's a little better, say, than Outcast or A Tribe Called Quest. I think he's a little more authentic. I think his style of music seems to work. Now, he says something very interesting here. Now, he had 16 top 20 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. And I will admit, I kind of boiled him down to one song, which is very typical today of radio. They'll play one song over and over, whether it's Don't Stop Believin', I Want to Know What Love Is, whatever, big song, Can't Fight This Feeling. I'm so tired, by the way, of all of those songs. Even the Journey song. Yes, I'm tired of it. So the Twist, which is his biggest hit, it's one among at least 16 other hits on the top 20 and probably a few more that hit the top 40. So this guy has a pretty decent catalog of music. It's just that so much time has gone by that people have forgotten about it, and radio formats have all moved on. This is what he says. You know what I do want from the music industry? Or maybe I don't care anymore. I don't know. Is to hear my music in the same way you can hear Billy Joel, the Beatles, Elton John, or Fleetwood Mac. Everywhere. On the radio, in supermarkets. I want to hear my music like them. All right. Now, this is very interesting because we are in a music holding pattern. I'm getting a little older, and I'm just shocked that I turn on the local adult contemporary radio station, and they're playing songs from 1978, which is fine. I love music from 1978, but do the math, okay? In many cases, they're playing tunes that are 50 years old, but there tends to be this holding pattern where the music is between, say, 1975 and 1990, and then they'll throw a few things in from the 90s that just sat on the charts during the 90s for weeks on end because they had some kind of weird chart system, and songs just would be on the charts for like 8-10 months as a recurrence, as we used to call them. They would come out, they would do well, and then they would kind of subside a little bit, but they would keep playing it over and over again. I'm trying to think of a good example of a song that did that. Natalie Imbruglia had a song called Torn, which was played for like 4 years. It just didn't go away. It was painful to listen to. Every time I hear that song today, I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's 1997, 1998, 1999. Just, is it a good song? Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it, but, it was on the radio forever. So Chubby Checker, in kind of a backhanded way here, is making the point that, hey, there's a lot more music out there that you could play in the supermarket, on the radio, and everywhere else, including stuff by Chubby Checker. And what's wrong with that? I don't think anything's wrong with that. I think, if anything, the industry needs to be shaken up. There's enough older material or material that has fallen through the cracks that you could revitalize the radio industry. You really could. But you've got to be creative. A guy like this deserves to be heard again on the radio. Let's twist again. Let's hear Chubby Checker again. I don't find this problematic at all. In fact, I think he's kind of stumbled into something that many people of his era, and maybe a few people a little after that, but anything from, say, like 1955 going forward, oh, well, Dave, nobody really appreciates that kind of music anymore, and hence this is why it's not out there. And we've got really smart programmers that they design playlists for today's music listener driving down the road, so they just don't hit those preset buttons to change the station to all talk or whatever. Or, Sirius XM, right? They're a little better, but you got to pay for it. And I guarantee you, they're not as creative as they could be. They just give you more flavors of the same crap. That's what they're doing. I mean, you go listen to, say, their yacht rock station. Stop playing Christopher Cross every 10 minutes. There's other stuff that's yacht rock, you know? There's a whole bunch of stuff that they've uncovered that was completely missed the first time around. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. So Chubby Checker makes a good point. Yes, I'm happy he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was a better candidate than many of the people on here. But again, a lot of people from my era are still wondering about bands like Kansas and Styx and REO Speedwagon and America and the Guess Who, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Alan Parsons Project, Bryan Adams. Okay, my two worst or best omissions, or however you want to look at this. Bryan Adams and Phil Collins. You're putting in Cyndi Lauper ahead of Bryan Adams and Phil Collins. What the bleep, Batman? Just those two. Next year, Phil Collins, Bryan Adams. And then you want to go back in time. Jethro Tull. I'm not the hugest Tull fan, but come on. I mean, they haven't. Look, they beat Metallica, right? Some people hate that so much. I think it's awesome. Because that's my personality. I'm strange, much like Chubby Checker, who says, hey, Chubby's made people a lot of money. Put Chubby back on the radio. Will they? I doubt it. Maybe there'll be a little Chubby resurgence after this. I don't know. All right. Outlasted and their album Universal Human Desire. It's music. Not sure. Is it AOR? Is it pop? Is it rock? Is it melodic? Does it really matter? Just go listen to it and you might like it. If not, you get a full refund, right? Because you're just streaming. You might have to sit through some commercials if you don't pay for your music service. But it is on all of those great platforms, which are bankrupting people who are trying to keep music going because they're not making any money from it. They need to make money. Speaking of that, if you can help this channel out, buy me a coffee, also YouTube memberships, PJ Rock Super Chats, Patreon, where I have patrons who are there and they support the channel and they do it on a monthly basis. You can do like $1 a month, $2 a month, if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to do it, it's all right. I continue to try to grow the channel. And I want to thank people who have supported me for a very long time. God bless you all. And God bless Chubby Checker. It's good that we've got somebody from the 50s who's finally going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.